Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day whenever you've decided to click on this here video. I'm having a very good day. It is Tuesday, I'm in the H-E-B parking lot. Hayden is getting our groceries because that is like our schedule now, is groceries on Tuesdays. And I wanted to start out this vlog and I guess tell you that I actually didn't film last week. I mean, I did, but I didn't. What you're seeing is actually, I guess, closer to real time than should be. Basically, I attempted to film last week, but I had 3 back-to-back clips of me just in this horrible bout of depression and just negativity. As much as I am all about sharing real feelings with y'all, I wasn't feeling like filming, and I really didn't want to have to like edit clips of me just being sad repeatedly over and over and over again. It just was not the vibe. So I decided to kind of cut my losses and just film this week instead. So this is definitely more in real time. My mood has shifted a lot because fertility stuff has changed a bit in the time that we have last talked. And I was really debating like when I wanted to share certain information, like how much I'm comfortable with. And I'm just gonna talk and like tell y'all how I'm feeling and where I'm at because it does kind of play into what this week is going to look like. So yesterday I had an embryo transfer. Last week was depressed because I was feeling a lot of indecision and a lot of discomfort around just this process, to be honest. Like it is very hard to do basically back-to-back embryo transfers just mentally. Physically, it's been totally fine. And actually I felt a lot better physically this time. A lot fewer cramps and a lot fewer just like negative side effects. But emotionally it has been really hard. Just kind of deciding on a bunch of different things, like how many of these do I potentially want to do? This one doesn't work, like what am I going to do after this? I don't know. The stuff that was coming out about Alabama over the past couple of weeks has really been hard. Changed my feelings, I guess, on a few different things, like do I want to continue to do this now? Do I want to wait? If I wait, like will I have the opportunity to do transfer? So that was like really weighing on me. But for me, it was mostly, I guess, deciding like what embryo to use, because we do have a few embryos and I feel really lucky that, you know, I have as many as I do to be able to choose from. But the plan that I had originally discussed with my doctor was feeling just a little bit hesitant and unsure about, but I really wanted to just trust that it would work and like just trust the process. We had discussed 2 different options basically and like 2 different plans. I had decided on plan number 1 till the day of, which was yesterday. Some like dominoes kind of fell into place and we ended up doing plan number 2, and I cannot express how happy I am that we went with that plan. And I don't really want to share the details of it. I'm sorry, I'm being vague. We were able to go with a plan that I just like feel more comfortable about and just like feel really good about. It's weird how just like little shifts like that can go from making you have like one of the most depressed weeks you've had in your entire life to feeling like very at peace. So all that to say, I had my embryo transfer yesterday. I feel really, really good about it. The embryo that we went with is so perfect. I'm not trying to get emotional. You know, obviously we saw our embryo last time and I'm not an embryologist, but looking at it, it just didn't look like a good embryo. But this one looks so good. And I'm trying not to read too much into that. Like I am not necessarily saying like, oh, it's definitely gonna work. But I feel really good about the decision we made to use the embryo that we used and to kind of go with the plan that we went with, and just feeling very good. And like literally regardless of the outcome, I feel very confident and really good about what we decided to do. I'm in a much better mood. But I did want to give you all of that context because I'm in sort of, I would say, like a fragile mental place, if that makes sense. I'm in such a good mood and I'm feeling very optimistic and also just like at peace with kind of this transfer and like kind of what has happened. But I don't want to repeat the mistakes of my last transfer, which was constantly trolling Reddit on how early I could test, constantly symptom spotting and doing those sorts of things. I am not doing any of that this time. I refuse to. And I think a really good way of helping myself is 1, blocking Reddit on all of my devices, which I've already done, and 2, creating my screen time for reading. I feel like being on Instagram and on TikTok and on Threads, it's just like not a great place to be, regardless of whether I am seeing, you know, fertility content, which I'm pushed a lot because obviously I am dealing with infertility. Whether it's that or not, I feel like I tend to really, I don't know, get in like negative headspaces when I'm on social media too often. And I think that is like an easy, I guess, reprieve or an easy place to go when you're mentally just like not feeling your best. But we all know that like social media isn't always the best place to be when you're not doing well mentally. So, well, Hayden's back. As I was trying to say, I'm trying to focus a lot of my energy at the moment on like treating myself well. And by that, I mean, I want to read a ton and like get back on track with YouTube this week, get ahead of certain videos and stuff. And also, I don't know, like watch some TV, have a good fucking time. We're going to see Dune on Sunday, which I think should be fun.
Oh yeah.
I will be reading that at some point, and I feel like I should probably try to do that this week, so maybe I'll do that as well. I won't be reading that for this vlog. I have like a video planned for the main channel.
I cannot wait for this.
But I am going to be reading other stuff for this year vlog. It's going to be another reading heavy vlog. I think the last one was too. I don't know what I'm going to read exactly, but I think it's going to be a lot of romance from Kindle Unlimited for a video I'm doing later in March, where I do like 1-sentence reviews of like 100 like popular romances. So I need to get like 20, I think, of those books read for the next couple of weeks. So that's going to take a while, obviously. And I'll be doing that in this year video. So hopefully y'all are excited about it. We're also going to be doing stuff like in our backyard, drip line, which I think is, just so thrilling. Maybe we'll show you that, but I'm sweating my ass off and I'd like to go home. So we're going to go. I'll see you in a little bit. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. I am looking a tad disheveled, but I'm obviously here to do my makeup and talk to you about the screen time challenge that I'm taking on. It's funny, I was uploading that video yesterday. That video, wow, vague. Last week's vlog that technically occurred like 2 weeks ago. And I mentioned in that video doing this challenge. I guess I just forgot about that last week. Maybe that would have cheered me up, I don't know. But we're attempting it this week, obviously. It should be an interesting adventure. Actually, you know what? Before I do that though, let me give you a little haul. I actually just got back from Ulta. I wanted to pick up a refill of my Pureology Color Fanatic spray. This is the only thing that I use in my hair when it's wet. I either blow dry my hair or I just go to sleep with my hair wet with this in it. And then when I style my hair, the only thing I use after I curl it is Triple Sec from Dry Bar, I believe. So I only use 2 hair products besides like, shampoo and conditioner. Oh, and I guess dry shampoo, but I'm still trying to find a dry shampoo that I like that's not aerosol. So anyway, love this, needed to pick it up. I also needed a refill of my brow pencil because I only have a little bit left. I used the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in Deep Brown. It's the darkest shade, I believe. It just works. It's like $3. Love this stuff. I did treat myself to one thing that I have not purchased before though, and that is this Pat McGrath lipstick in Veiled Rose. I don't know, I just kind of wanted like a good mid-tone, cool-toned pinky lipstick. I'm actually not entirely sure how cool-toned this one is because the samples were kind of gross, but on my hand it looked cooler than this, but I kind of wanted something that like would stand out against my skin, which I guess is technically everything because I'm so fucking pale, but I wanted something that was like not my typical light peachy nude. This is like a little bit more on the pinky side. The packaging's so cute. Okay, anyway, back to the task at hand. Let's talk about this screen time challenge, shall we, while I do my makeup, because I'm actually about to film a video. So that should make today's screen time challenge interesting, but I went on my phone and looked at my screen time, and for this week, I'm actually doing pretty good so far. Well, I guess good comparatively. I think my screen time's down like 40% or something like that, because I already set like some time limits for apps yesterday. But my screen time last week I think was like 6 hours or something like that, which is kind of insane. Granted, like I work from home and I don't really like leave my house very often, but I think that's like not good. Even if I'm like playing Two Dots or like listening to an audiobook, there's no reason for me to be on my phone for like 6 hours a day. So I think I want to replace my screen time this week with that 6 hours. I actually think it might have been like closer to 7 hours, but I think we can split the difference between this week's 4 and last week's like, 7. We can just land on 6. I'm gonna try to replace my screen time with my reading, and I think that will prove fruitful. Hopefully I can get a lot of books read. I actually selected some audiobooks and some other books that I would like to read over the next week for different videos and for this video. It'll be interesting to compare, I guess, my average in terms of like books read per week, from the past, I would say, couple of months to maybe like this week, you know what I mean? See how many more books I'm able to average this week than I normally do. And I will be doing that obviously by like counting and averaging the books, but also by doing a little like stopwatch to replace again my screen time with my reading. So I'm going to try to use the stopwatch every time I read until I get to that like 6 hour mark every day. And that's a lot of hours, I know. That's probably not attainable for most people. And I do want to point that out. I feel like every time inevitably that I do a wrap up on my main channel, people are always like, how do you read so many books? How do you remember so many books? And I'm like, it's my job. This is what I do for a living, which I haven't always done. And I did read a lot before I made this my full-time job, but like I've always treated it like a full-time job. And I don't think that your average person needs necessarily to read as much as I do. That was my random aside, but yeah, 6 hours a day of reading, like I feel like that's pretty reasonable. That's like what my days should look like, right? Like as a full-time book content creator, right? Like the other hours can be like administrative stuff, but I really should be reading for at least 6 hours a day. So I don't know. I think it should be an interesting challenge. I'll obviously check in with y'all with like my thoughts on books, and I'll also check in with the stopwatch and the amount of time that's elapsed and if I'm like hitting that goal. Today, I don't know if I'll hit that goal, and that's okay because I actually need to film a video for my main channel where I give you recommendations for books that aren't Crescent City or like alternatives to Crescent City. A couple of y'all asked me to do that because I had like mentioned in my review of the 3rd book that like I think there are better series out there, so I'm gonna do that video, and I may or may not be editing that, so that might take up some time today. And I also have some sprints to do actually. That's why I'm putting on my makeup right now. rather than later for sprints in 15 minutes. It has been kind of a chaotic day, but I'm feeling good because my brain is focused on things that are not the transfer that happened 2 days ago. So I think this is where I'm going to leave you. I'm going to finish off my makeup, and I'll check in with y'all in a little bit when I have gotten a little bit of this book read that I've already started. Society of Irregular Witches. Is it Regular Witches? That makes them sound like they have got like menstrual issues. Yeah, Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. We'll talk about that in a sec. All right. I didn't mean to get my breasts out today, but the other tank top I was wearing was just like, I don't know, matronly. Like I just was not feeling the vibe. It was like coming up to my neck. It's either like neck or like tits out, and I'm gonna get the girls out. You know what I mean? I didn't gain all this weight to not show these off. But sometimes I do get self-conscious. Anyway, none of that is fucking relevant to what we're talking about right now, which is reading and books. I just went to Barnes & Noble with Hayden. We also got P. Terry's for dinner, local burger joint, and their crispy chicken sandwich is actually pretty good. I'm not normally into chicken sandwiches that are like ground chicken. I much more prefer like a breast. It all comes full circle. But I wanted to grab a copy of Dune before I watched the movie on Saturday. It's really sinking in how much shit I have to do between now and Sunday, but it's fine. Hayden has like a beautiful copy with blue sprayed edges, but he loaned it to a friend, and I don't know when he's getting that copy back, so I was like, you know what, I'll just grab the paperback. I guess suffer my way through this. I had no idea this was 900 pages long. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. I think it's gonna work great for our challenge. I've only read an hour today, maybe a little bit longer. I didn't time myself earlier, but on the stopwatch I'm at 54 minutes. I'm gonna read a little bit after I get off camera, but I didn't read as much as I wanted to. I did kind of want to update you on that book. Also, by the way, yes, I bought this. I also bought a few other books. I'll do like a mini haul at some point, but the books are upstairs, so I didn't want to do that now. Also, like, she's thick. I really don't love mass markets, but it was like, I could either get the movie tie-in cover or this one, and so it was cheaper too. Anyway, let's talk about the book I'm reading for this video, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I don't like it. And I wish that I did, but I don't. I think it's about our main character, Mika, I think is her name. I always want to say Mina. A lot of the characters have like goofy names that are like kind of made up. One of the characters' names is like Terracotta or something, which is definitely the name of pottery. I don't know that I've ever heard that name used for a human being before. Basically, this woman is a witch. Apparently witches are orphaned girls who, grow up to be women, have witchy abilities, and they kind of get trained by fellow witches, but they also can't spend too much time around fellow witches. So all of these people are incredibly fucking lonely. They also like can't really be with society because they can accidentally use their witchy powers or whatever. Anyway, she makes YouTube videos because she wants to feel closer to people, even if people online don't think she's actually a witch because people don't think witches actually exist. These people that live on this estate, who work at this estate, were like, wait, I think she's actually the real deal, which would be great because we need her to come and train the 3 young witches under our care who are basically abandoned by their adopted mother and teach them how to be witches because their witchy abilities are coming about, and I guess the family lawyer is going to come to the house at some point, and they don't want the young witches, I guess, to like set spells or make this guy confused. I don't honestly know. The premise of this book is kind of stupid. I'm so sorry. It just is. To me, I'm just like not loving it. I'm reading this for the video where I read the 100 most popular romances of the past 3 years. Surprisingly, this list is so different than the list from last year. I guess they publish this every year, but you'd assume there's some like overlap with those 3 years, you know what I mean? Like if we're going back. Anyway, there's not a whole lot of overlap is what I'm trying to say. And this book is not very romantic. Like I am not really rooting for the heroine to get with the guy who she is like supposed to be set up with. There's a gay couple that lives at the estate, and then there's also this like really mean guy and maybe another woman, I don't remember. They're obviously not very compelling characters, but the really mean guy is like very protective of the girls or whatever, but he's just a fucking asshole to this woman who's like come to help these girls out of the goodness of her heart. I don't think she's getting paid or anything. She might be, I don't know. I don't like it. It's not romantic. I'm like 60% into this book at this point, and no, 70% the way into this book, and there's like basically no romance. So why is this categorized as romance? Even if it weren't, it's just not my kind of book. I think I can safely say that. I'm just not someone who really likes the cozy, like heartwarming kind of story. I don't mind children in stories, but I don't really like it's a certain kind of vibe, okay? Again, I would direct this at like the bookish girlies, you know what I mean? Like if you're into cozy fantasies, cozy books about books, I think you'd like this. It doesn't like totally fit into that category, but like, I'm reading it though. I'm finishing it tonight. It's happening. I'm gonna do it. Since I only have an hour of the audiobook left, it's 10, I go to sleep at 11:30. I got time. I can get ready for bed and finish this book. Tomorrow, the pedal's hitting the fucking pedal though. Like I really need to read some stuff. Not that I like haven't been reading, but anyway. Other things that I've done today. I filmed the you shouldn't read Crescent City. Instead, you should read these series YouTube video. I made notes for the video. I filmed the video. I gave it to Hayden to edit. I uploaded it. I was having some weird issues with my uploading. For some reason, it like wasn't exporting in 4K. No one cares, but I got that figured out. I don't like that crispy quality. It's like if I'm gonna bother to film in a crispy quality, I want it to upload in a crispy quality. I also filmed my first TikTok. Everybody clapped. Everybody clapped. I have been wanting to make short form content for a little while, or at least considering making it. I want to branch out a little bit, try some new things, and you know, I just feel like TikTok, you can be like a little more casual there. But while I was filming my Crescent City, like read these books instead video, I was like, why don't I just like make a TikTok about the same thing, like a condensed version, and tell people to like go to my YouTube channel or whatever. I don't really know what my intent is at this point with TikTok. Like I'm not sure what I want to get from it, but I just want to post short form content. I just think it's a different way to interact with people. So you can follow me there. It might shock you and surprise you to know that my handle over there is the same handle that I use everywhere. It's at chandler.ainsley, so you can find me there. It's the only TikTok I have up. I just felt like I needed to rip off the band-aid and like get something up there. I felt like kind of a goober because I feel like it felt a little produced. I don't know. I think like high quality videos are good, but I feel like TikTok is just a more casual platform, so I felt a little silly posting that, but definitely overthinking it. I just needed to like do it so that I don't feel as like nervous to do it going forward. I'm definitely focusing all of my attention here, but like I should branch out. I've always felt that way too about like other platforms like Instagram, just like really anything that I put my name to. I want to give it more effort, but a lot of the times everything is just like wrapped up in YouTube. But it's like now that I have more time, at least I should have more time available to me now that I'm doing this full time, I want to be able to post on different platforms and like devote more time to it. I don't know if I'm ever going to be posting like true book posts to Instagram, but maybe I will. I don't know. The world's my oyster. Obviously, my mind is at a mile a minute. That's why I'm talking so quickly. I honestly can't regulate that. If anyone was curious about why I talk so quickly, it is because partially I listen to audiobooks quickly, but I've just always spoken really quickly. Oh, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. I need to listen to this book, but I also need to go to sleep. Pepper's in here with me, as he is every night, and he is being a sleepy eepy boy. He likes to eat his dinner in phases and in waves. He'll like eat his dinner, and then he'll come hang out, and then he'll eat his dinner, and then he'll come hang out. He has not seemed very hungry tonight, so I don't know. He's a weird little rat boy. I definitely feed him enough. He just doesn't always love to eat. And I've asked my vet about it. We've gotten him tested. He's just a weird little scrawny guy, and I love that for him. Takes after his daddy. I'm gonna go. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. I don't have anything else to film. Yeah, the video I'm posting on Sunday, by the way, is my DBBC for Shatter Me. Hayden's reading it right now, and he hates it, and I'm so excited because I know that's gonna be fun. I was like between that one and Iron Flame, but I figured we'd have more to say about Shatter Me, and it's shorter, so that's another thing I need to read over the next couple of days, plus Vampire Academy, because my goal is on Sunday to have DBBC up, and then be like, hey, tomorrow, podcast is up, you know? And by tomorrow, I mean like following Monday, like next Monday. It'll already be up when you're seeing this video. It'll have been up for a whole day. So I'll link that too in the description. Okay, I'm gonna go. Good night. All right, friends. Hello. Happy Thursday. I am popping in to sprinkle in a little mental health update and also talk to you about books, of course. I wanted to do the mental health update first because I've tried to film this clip one, not two, not three, but 4 times. And it's just not going the way that I planned because I keep losing my train of thought because of a lot of different things. Cats, number one, getting on my bed. The trucks, they keep going by. The construction trucks, they're so fucking loud. Today is an interesting day. It's kind of ugly outside, and so I have been less active for sure than I have the past couple of days post-transfer. Literally the day after transfer, I was out in my yard, like doing yard work, nothing intense, but just, you know, like getting my hands dirty and being in the sunshine. I honestly think that coupled with that like euphoria that I was feeling post-transfer had me feeling really good for the first couple of days. I think the shitty weather, staying in bed, like not doing much is probably not great for my mental health, but I also think it just like it's a day 3 post-transfer thing. At least for me it is, because it was the same way last time. I was a lot less active and I was in bed for 2 days straight post-transfer anyway that time, but I feel like day 3 is when you start to question like, could this work? Like, could I actually be pregnant? I'm definitely not pregnant. Am I pregnant? I've been feeling cramps, but like, does that mean anything? Is that good? Is that bad? And you start to go a little stir crazy. For me, I started testing day 3 last transfer, and I had a moment of weakness this morning where I was like, okay, I might do it. And I'm really proud of myself for not, but I was really considering it. And I'm hoping that I can maintain that, to be honest, because I don't know, I feel like I've just been having a lot of like swirling thoughts and questions and just like, you know, hope. Like I said, like the choices that we made, I think were good ones, and I don't regret anything about this transfer. I feel like, you know, we did everything we possibly could to make this a good one. You know, it's like once you have one failure, like it makes you feel like, oh, I could never possibly get pregnant. I think I'm also just having a lot of questions this time around on whether the transfer failing last time was a me problem or if it was an embryo problem. And my doctor said she doesn't think it's a me problem, but you know, it's like hard to say. And if this one's a failure, like what do we do from here? I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of uncertainty and a little bit of like fear, trepidation, etc. creeping in, but I'm trying again to just like remind myself that we made the best possible choice we could given the knowledge that we had. I should just be optimistic. And that is why I decided not to test today. I was literally holding the test in my hand. I was like, should I do this? And I was like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this again because it's bad for the mental health. It's gonna help. It's just gonna make you feel worse, regardless of whether it's positive or negative. Why not trade like 1 day of sadness, 7 days of sadness? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need that. Well, I don't know if any of this is making sense, but yeah, just feeling a little bit like meh because the weather's shitty, but it is also affording me an opportunity to kind of like lounge, which I'm liking because I have been again like active the past few days. It is kind of nice to just like lounge and like feel free. So in terms of the screen time challenge, I have read for 2 hours and 37 minutes so far, and it is 3 o'clock. So I can definitely hit my goal, and I definitely will hit my goal of listening or reading books for 6 hours. I finished The Very Secret Society of Regular Witches. Looks a little something like this. It was bad. Didn't like it. Didn't like the reveal from the hero, and I'm using quotes because that shit was disturbing and unsettling, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm surprised that it was just glossed over and like we're acting like it's normal because it's so not normal, and I hated it. I'm sorry, I really didn't like this book. Nothing about it was for me, and I don't understand why this was on a most popular romance list because I don't feel like it's a romance. I don't want to bitch because I know a lot of y'all liked this book, but it just is not, it's not my cup of tea, and that's okay. I don't think it was objectively terrible, it's just like not for me, okay? Another book that was not for me was Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Reading this one for a list video that I'm doing in June. The other book that I read was for a list video I'm doing this month. This book was weird. It was told from multiple points of view, from multiple different timelines, and you're kind of wondering the entire time, like, how the characters are interrelated, and when you start to understand why they are, I didn't like it. I felt like it was a little played out, and it didn't have, like, the emotional impact that I feel like it should have had. Maybe because the book was kind of short, maybe because we don't spend very much time with any character in particular. I just don't really feel like the message worked for me. I think the message was just lost on me, frankly. I think it's supposed to say something about, like, humanity and our interconnectedness as a species and how we should be there for each other. It's got like time travel and the pandemic, and it was just like a bunch of fucking nonsense, to be honest. Half the time I didn't understand what was going on, which maybe says something about my intelligence. I'm not entirely sure, but what I am sure about is that this just like wasn't my favorite either. Glad I got knocked out. It was going to return to my library, so like I'm glad I finished that one, but I'm even more glad to be moving on to Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. This is the first book in the Eden series. I think I've read almost all of the other ones. I've read at least like 2 or 3 of the other books in the series, and I've enjoyed them. So I'm hoping this first one's okay. I've already gotten, I don't know, like 10% in, and I don't love that there's a hookup in the beginning, and also that our heroine's a police chief. I don't really like that kind of thing, personally. I guess at least it's the woman and not the man, but it's not a trope that I really like, but I'm remaining optimistic. I really need a good read. I think that's another thing too, is like bad weather, fixating on things that I have no control over, and reading books that I do have control over but are just sadly shitty has been maybe not the best formula for my mental health. It's fine. I'm trying to finish that one today. I'm also trying to get a sizable amount of Dune read, maybe not even sizable, maybe like 100 to 200 pages in, because I feel like if I don't just start it, I'm just like never going to pick it up before we watch the first movie on Saturday. I also really need to read Shatter Me. My goal tomorrow was to film our TBBC on Shatter Me. Hayden read it yesterday via audio. I absolutely hated it, and I'm just so excited to talk to him about it. That one reads super quick, so I'm thinking like Indigo Ridge, Shatter Me, and then if I have time, maybe get 200 pages into this. Ambitious for sure, but I'm ready to like smoke this fucking challenge today, you know what I mean? Maybe even go past 6 hours of reading. I'm not like cutting myself off at 6 hours, I just like want to get at least 6 hours read. So anyway, I actually do kind of like how this feels. It's like taller than a mass market. It's like really just thick, you know, feels meaty in the hands. Anything else exciting to update you on? I had to give Binky another bath today with Hayden because he has had a poopy ass the past couple of days. Just is the nature of having long-haired cats sometimes. I think I'm gonna give him a haircut later. A little butt cut. I don't know why anyone would be interested or care about that, but that's literally the only other thing that we've done today. I also had lunch. Lunch was great. Hayden made us lunch. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. We'll be back in a little bit. Hayden doesn't think that we need 5 chicken tenders.
Well, we don't need 5 chicken tenders in addition to the 2 chicken tenders that you get on your sandwich, you know?
Well, I think you're a hater. Also, sorry about the angle, y'all. We are at an incline. We're at a chicken
I don't think that they notice that.
Maybe they do. Maybe they're bothered. Also, I like
only if we're like this, you know?
I like that I'm blending in with my chair. My little matching set. I have done reading
What did you read?
I'm halfway into Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. Is that a real name? I'm not sure.
I like
I
it.
think I did Google it. It's kind of cool. I just wanted to tell you that I am now, let's see how far into my challenge for the day. 3 hours, 53 minutes. We'll get to 6, don't worry.
Oh, is that your challenge, is to read for 6 hours today?
Every day.
Good Lord.
Just for the rest of the week.
That's like a job.
It's almost like it's my job. But yeah, I'm 50% into Indigo Ridge. I think I'm liking it, but I'm not liking the romance. And it's a romance, so I don't know where that leaves me. Basically, you've got your old bitch, Win, and she lives in Montana now. She's lived in Montana, I guess, her whole life. But she moved to this little small town. Now she's a police chief at only 30. And a lot of people don't like her because they don't think she's experienced. And now she's trying to see if this apparent suicide was actually a murder. Because there's been a lot of suicides in town. And so she's trying to figure it out. And no one believes her. Everybody's like, no, people are just killing themselves. And she's like, I don't know about that. And she meets this hot guy at a bar her first night there. And they fuck. And they just keep fucking. That's the thing. It's like the romance, I'm not feeling it. I think what we're going to find over time is that, like, through this, you know, steady raw intercourse, which it is raw, can confirm is raw. Is it raw if you're using birth control?
Yeah. I think raw is just like no dong bag, you know?
Getting twinkied every day.
No, see, that's the thing. I don't even think that plays into it. I think it's just like this.
Oh, like you could be a toast or strudel and it could still be raw.
Yeah, you're still raw dogging it, yeah.
Okay. This is so appropriate.
For what? For your channel? Yes, it is. It's exactly appropriate. You say hitting it raw
often, yeah.
In most videos, I would say. Honestly, it should be a catchphrase. You should put that on a shirt, merch.
I told my Discord that I was gonna maybe do an Omegaverse video and like read a few different Omegaverse books, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, there's gonna be so much cum," and I was like, "I know, it's my favorite, like to joke about." It's fine. Like they're fucking a lot, and I think through the raw intercourse, they'll eventually start discussing their feelings and maybe smooch.
Gross.
They're already smooching, but like smooching in a romantic sense.
But what if we find out that the guy
is the murderer?
Yeah, is the murderer. Yeah. That would be tight, right? And she's into it, you know? And then she starts murdering too.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil that book that I read earlier that I said I didn't like. I read this book. I'll tell Hayden for some context. It's about a girl who like pretends to be a witch on YouTube, and some people find her and are like, oh, I think she's actually a witch. Let's hit her up and ask if she wants to like teach our 3 wards her witchy skills, because we think they're witches and like they don't have control over their powers. And so they contact her and she's like, it's actually great because I am a witch. You know what's not great is my fucking hair, Jesus Christ. I am showering tonight. It's my shower night if anyone was curious. My hair washing night specifically.
Is there a difference?
No, you're gonna have people in my comments talking about how white people don't wash their legs.
I do. I wash my legs every time I bathe.
Anyway, this chick's teaching these 3 little witch bitches to... I shouldn't call children bitches. They're really annoying, though, those little kids that she's teaching. And, there's, like, 3 adult people. There's 2...
You say children. How old are they?
I don't fucking, like, 9.
Oh, yeah, that's a child.
Yeah.
That's for sure a child.
Anyway, yeah. There's 2 gay men who are really nice to her, who are like take care of the kids, and there's also like one grumpy ass dude who's just a dick the entire time. He's like, I don't want you around. And she's like, but I'm trying to help. And he's like, well, fuck you. And then at the end of the book, we find out that the guardian of the 3 girls, who's away a lot because she's like an archaeologist, she's actually dead in the backyard, and he knew about it the entire time and was just like kind of hiding it. And she's like, oh, it's okay, that's fine. I mean, he didn't kill her, but like that's
fertilizer. He's just composting.
She was, actually, because there were, like, flowers on her, like, pretty flowers.
Yeah, composting.
They, like, put her bones back so the flowers keep growing.
What do you mean, put her bones back?
Well, I mean, they took her bones. I think they, like, took her entire skeleton out and, like, tried to, like... I don't know if they tried to reanimate her, or I don't... It was weird, okay? I didn't like that one.
They probably put them together and sold her to, like, a college.
Why
like
a
university.
Oh, just because, you know, murder. He's actually the murderer. Just kidding. He didn't kill anybody, but the vibes were rancid. Anyway, we're at a little joint called the Thirsty Chicken, and I feel confident in telling you that because it's nowhere near where I live, but it is delicious.
And the food is ready. Do you think I should stick my fingers and just, like, yank a couple of those wires?
Does that mean I can claim that you're like a journeyman or whatever? What do they call the guys that...
The Sparkies?
What do they call the ones that shimmy up the poles? Linemen.
Yeah, the Sparkies.
Okay, goodbye. Go get my chicken. What are you doing? For context, we watched a TikTok where this chick was saying she was an apprentice Sparky, which I guess is what they call electricians in Australia, which is the funniest shit that I've ever heard. Okay, I'm gonna go and I'll insert some B-roll of my delicious chicken. Alright, hello friends. Pardon my face. I was getting a little emotional earlier. Not bad, but just emotional. You know, IVF obviously is an emotional thing. Okay, let's focus. I just did my sunscreen. I'm about to put makeup on because I'm going to film a DBBC on Shatter Me with Hayden. Okay, let's talk about that. Also, we can talk about like how far I've gotten in my challenge today. I was able to finish Indigo Ridge. I'm also 2 hours and 32 minutes into my screen time challenge, if we will. Well, what to say about Shatter Me? I don't want to spoil like my thoughts and feelings on that one because I'm like, you're gonna see it in like a couple of days. You're actually gonna see that before you see this. So, you know, I did just want to say, wow, it was bad the first time I read it. It was even worse the second time around, and I just know Hayden and I are gonna have so much fun roasting the shit out of it. We are going to do a little sit down DBBC. We didn't vlog it. We're doing a just like regular sit down one after dinner. So I figured I would like go ahead and put my makeup on, get all gussied up. I just like am constantly astounded by that book and the popularity of it because I didn't read it in its heyday. The first time I read it was in 2018, so like far past its, you know, prime of like 2011, I think is when it was published. But I'm just honestly surprised that it got the love that it did. I mean, I'm not, but I am at the same time. This book is really horny, is what I want to say. That's the only thing that I really feel like I need to say here. It's extremely horny. The amount of making out between Juliet and Warner is like kind of nuts. Wait, Juliet and Warner? No, Juliet and Adam. Spoiler, the amount of making out between Adam and Juliet, their professions of love, like it's kind of a lot for a YA book. It's not like it's really scandalous or anything, but I just feel like I'd never read anything like that. When I was growing up, it was like there would be maybe one, maybe two makeout scenes, but there's like making out at the 40% mark of this book after knowing each other for like a week. It's a lot. I guess the thing that I'm just like astounded by this book is the lack of world building and like cohesion. Because if you look at other like dystopians that have like a romance subplot, like Hunger Games or Divergent or books like that, like the world is a big part of the story, and like you're getting explanations on like pretty much every page about like the different intricacies of this like made up world. Tahara Mafi, she was like, nope, we ain't doing that. There's just bad guys and good guys, and that's all you need to know. I think what astounded me too was like the longer you read the series, things get revealed, but the world never grows. So it was just kind of like, what the fuck am I reading? But again, I'm gonna save my really in-depth thoughts for the DBBC, but I just, the book never ceases to amaze me, and I know Hayden's gonna have like really funny things to say on it. I also took notes, which I think always lends itself to a better DBBC, so fingers crossed it goes good. We can't talk about Indigo Ridge though, because I did finish that one last night. I didn't update you last night after we got back from eating dinner, but I did actually hit the 6-hour mark of reading, which I feel really good about, and I was able to finish Indigo Ridge. So it's fun reading this one after reading a Catherine Cowles book, I'm not gonna lie, because basically the heroine saves herself in this one. I mean, okay, technically she gets like carried down a mountainside by her hot hunky man, but when she's like face to face with this like serial killer murderer person, because obviously there's a serial killer murder person. I don't feel like that's a fucking spoiler. If you think that's a spoiler, I'm sorry, just go away. The heroine saves herself, and I just really liked that. I don't know, I just feel like with most romantic suspense, I don't want to make assumptions or like generalizations here because I don't know that much about the state of romantic suspense since I don't read it that often, but the few that I have read, I just feel like it's always the guy who's saving the girl, and in this case, she saved herself, you know? She was a cop, which like, you know, I'm not the most into, but I am glad that she took care of herself and looked after herself. And I will say the romance did grow on me a little bit. I still don't think this is like super swoony or anything, but it is one of those like quiet romances where like, again, like I said, I think the feelings grow over time, and they realize after sleeping with each other about 1 billion times that they would miss the other person if the other person wasn't there. So it was a book. I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. I thought it was very solid. I think I've given most of Dabney's books like 3 to 4 stars. I don't think I've had a 5-star from her yet, but I just like her books. They're solidly written, and if you're like into a romantic suspense book or you like something other than just a romance in your plot lines, like you might like this. I also like that like the kind of mood of all of the books in the Eden series, they are kind of melancholy, so I kind of like that in a sense. Like I think sometimes it's nice to read something that isn't like some upbeat rom-com. I liked it. I thought it was good. I'm trying to think if I finished anything else. I don't think so. I think I talked to you about all the other stuff I finished. I read a lot yesterday though. I'm proud of that. I did not start Dune though, which was a little bit disappointing. I really need to like start that today, but I am torn because I'm like, well, I need to read it, but also I'm kind of like, I just won't have anything to talk about today necessarily if I just read Dune. I don't like that. Like I want to give y'all entertaining content here where I'm like reading books and actually doing things, but that might be asking too much. I'm gonna go. I will be back in a little bit. If I read anything other than Dune, which I'm kind of feeling like I will just because I'm like in a reading mood, I need to distract myself from this embryo transfer stuff. I will update you. Yeah, if I read anything else. Okay, bye. Howdy friends. Happy Saturday. We just had lunch and Hayden's not happy because apparently I don't give him enough time to, you know, digest his food.
No, it's not the digestion. It's literally like having food stuck in my teeth, and I'm like, I feel like I need to like pick it out with my tongue, you know? I'm like, digging around my mouth and you can see it on camera and it's not fun. And otherwise I just have to leave it there.
You can't
That's even
okay,
worse.
we're so far away from the camera, I don't even think you can tell.
That is not true. I've edited so many clips of myself in the car directly after eating.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Especially after I just ate kettle cooked chips.
I just feel like that was personally not a good decision.
I didn't know you were going to do this to me.
Eating the shrapnel. I do not like kettle cooked chips because it feels like it's too hard for your mouth and it's just not fun
You just
to
have a
eat.
little baby mouth.
I sure do.
There's so many things
And
that
yeah,
you just can't eat.
Yeah, my teeth are wiggly. Yeah, I grind my teeth at night. Yeah, they might all fall out at some point. But
And your
that's
jaw doesn't work.
Yours doesn't either, to be fair.
My jaw is perfectly fine.
Why do you wear a mouth guard at night?
Yeah, because I grind my teeth, but I...
That's why my jaw...
No, but I'm
that's
saying...
where my jaw problems come from.
I'm saying I didn't even know that I ground my teeth until the dentist
I knew.
was like...
I knew.
No, until the dentist was like, hey, you're really grinding your teeth at night. And I was like, I didn't know. I'm saying you have, like, jaw pain. Like, you avoid things because you're like, oh, this is gonna mess my jaw up. I don't think I've ever avoided food for how it's gonna affect my mouth, aside from... like Captain Crunch or wait, what is it?
There's just some things I won't do, but you know what? I'm protective of my teeth. Sometimes I've seen things online where someone will bite into really hard sourdough bread and lose a fucking tooth. That won't be me, okay? Because I don't take those risks.
Mine's not the teeth. It's like scraping the roof of my mouth kind of stuff.
That also isn't my favorite. But also I don't care about the roof of my mouth because I burn that shit weekly on food that's too hot. So anyway, I was just popping in to talk to you about books a little bit. Maybe.
Sounds like we're talking a lot about food and how it affects your mouth.
I am an hour into my screen time challenge. It's not maybe going as well as I had hoped. Yesterday I only got like 2 or 3 hours in, but I did read before bed on my Kindle and I didn't record the time, I'm pretty sure. So
Wait,
it was a
did you
little
say
bit more.
screen time challenge?
Yeah, I'm replacing my screen time with reading.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that that's going to work very well today.
Why?
In terms of, like, I don't think that there's going to be enough hours outside of the things that we need to do today for you to actually be able to read.
And that's what happened yesterday. It was like I was so busy with the other stuff. But I think in a way, I did sort of complete the screen time challenge. I was on my phone list because I was doing other things. Like we filmed our DVBC, which was good, successful. Hayden edited that. I was also like finishing the book before we read it. Like the 2 or 3 hours I was reading was mostly Shatter Me, but I did end up reading like 10 or 20% of The Ritual by Chantal Tessier, I think is the fucking author's name. Let me just tell you about this book real quick before I tell you the other thing I've been reading. Okay, this book. Where it even fucking begin. There's this university, and they have this thing, the secret society called the Lords, and LORDS stands for things like loyalty, order. I don't know what the R stands for, but something. Basically, to be initiated, your freshman, sophomore, and junior year, you have to like murder people that you're assigned to murder to show your loyalty and like do other things. You're also not allowed to like fuck randos. You're supposed to be celibate until your senior year, and then you're gifted a woman who's a chosen. I guess the society chooses who you're going to be banging, and this guy is assigned a girl who is already girlfriend of one of his fellow like brothers or whatever. So he has to like steal her away, and she's at this party, this initiation ceremony. She's about to be fucked raw, I think.
Does she not know
Not
that
know.
she's been given away?
No, not yet.
How does that work?
I don't really know. I don't really know how the consent thing works too. What if she's just like, I'm not into dudes, you know?
Yeah, or just like, I'm not into you, or just any... Well, what I'm saying is like, it doesn't seem like to me she even knew that she was on the list of people to be given away. Like, she didn't know that this was a thing that could happen to her.
Well, she was trying to ask her boyfriend Matt, and Matt was like, don't even worry about it. That's not going to be you, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, what do you mean? Where do these women come from? Who are these women?
They go to school, I don't know. They're just like chosen.
So if you just go to the school...
There's a chance that you could be promised to one of these fucking weirdo murderers.
And
Yes.
also you're not told about it until
Right.
it's too late, until you've already been promised.
Yeah, you don't get a choice. It's not up to you. It's a dark romance. It's one of the most popular romances of the past 3 years, which is why I'm reading it. And oh boy, it's funny. Like, it's funny. It's keeping me entertained. I want to see what happens next. It's unhinged, of course. I have like seen this one on Amazon recommended to me, but I just like have never picked it up. So glad I'm getting
I'm not seeing the romance aspect of here. I'm seeing the dark.
it's, you know, there's also definitely consent issues at the beginning of the book. She's like at this party.
No shit.
Listen. She's at this party and she finds out that her boyfriend's actually been cheating on her. And so she's like, I'm gonna get really drunk. And so she gets really drunk and some guy like corners her in his bedroom. And she's like, you're kind of sexy. And he's like, cool, I want to fuck you. And she's like, okay. But like, she's real drunk. So, I don't know. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good, but I mean, For you to have said that that was the consent issue after describing her being promised to someone without her knowledge, and he's gonna go steal her away from her current boyfriend, that seems a little,
Yeah, but there was no action involved yet. This is the
Yet.
first. Anyway, it's a book that I'm reading. And the other book I'm reading right now is Vampire Academy, obviously. That's what I'm going to be reading when I get home. And so, obviously, time myself. I think it's going to take me, like, maybe 2 more hours to get through. We're going to podcast it. It's our first time, like, setting up our podcast equipment. So, it's probably going to take us a hot fucking second. But I'm kind of excited. We've got 3 different cameras. This one, and then my 2 big ones. And it's going to be
Is this going to be the middle camera?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm excited. I think it's going to be so fun. I'm excited about the camera angles, because here's the issue that I have whenever we film DBBC. I didn't have this issue last time, or like the time we just filmed, because of our like new setup. But I feel like normally I'm having to turn my head like completely to talk to you. And if you didn't know, I do not look good from the side. Straight on is the only way you should view me.
Neither do I, but I can't stop myself from turning all the way to look at you in pretty much any situation.
I can do like a little turn, and I think it was like better in the podcast. I mean,
right now my turn is horrible. You see this?
Yeah, the doorstop is door stopping, but it's okay.
Not really a doorstop, it's a bump it.
Oh, you gotta bump it. And then after we do the DBBC, or not DBBC, the Pain in the Neck podcast, we're going to be watching Dune 1. I've been getting so many Dune TikToks, and I've also watched so many Dune YouTube videos that I feel like I already know what the fuck's up. But I guess we'll see once we watch the movie.
I mean, like I said, it's not that difficult to understand what's up.
I know.
It's about watching it, you know?
It's about like experiencing it. I want to be a part of the cultural phenomenon. Are we gonna get the popcorn bucket when we go? They're probably gonna be sold out.
Yeah, of course.
If they have one though, I'm definitely getting one.
Yeah, no popcorn, extra butter.
The duneussy.
Did I tell you we were looking them up on eBay?
Are people selling them for like
$800?
Oh my god. Yeah, we're probably not gonna be able to get one. It's such a bummer.
One of the eBay listings that I found actually said Dune 2 duneussy. There was one that said like unopened, and then one that said lightly used.
Also, I don't know, I was like beating myself up about like not reading Dune before watching, but I actually think for the video that I want to do, I think it's actually better for me to watch it before I read it. Because like the whole reason not the whole reason I'm doing the video is for Dune, but kind of like now the reason that I'm like more excited to do it is because of like this phenomenon, and I want to be in on it. And so I'm gonna watch it, and then I'll be intrigued enough to slog through the fucking book. My hair is so tangly. I've not brushed my hair today.
See, my fear is that you're going to skip a lot in the book because you're like, I already know what happens. You don't know me. You are literally that motherfucker.
That's not me at all.
That is 100% you.
In what universe? I don't do that. I genuinely, I don't do that.
You've definitely done that. Pretty sure that you did that with Way of Kings.
Fuck no. I listened to the whole fucking audiobook for that. There's no way to like skip around.
There's definitely been books in the past where, and I think specifically like longer like fantasy books that I wanted you to read, and you were like, yeah, I just like stopped halfway because like I already know what happens, and that's enough for me.
Did not happen.
It's definitely happened before.
Don't think that's true, but that's our plans for the day. And I'll update you as the day goes on. Hayden's a hating-ass bitch, and I think we all need to just acknowledge that and accept it.
Hayden-ass bitch.
Exactly. We do need to go, like, find something to hang our Pain in the Neck podcast sign with, amongst other things. So that's where we're headed next, is to get some things. Anything else exciting? Enough that I want to talk about. Bye! Hello, bitches! Okay, that actually probably wasn't the best way to greet my beloved homies. I wanted to say hello and happy Sunday. I am failing so fucking miserably at this screen time challenge, but I did finish Vampire Academy yesterday, which I'm feeling very good about. We also watched Dune, which was a movie that I watched. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and we're going to see the second one. That's why we're in the car. I'm very sick of these loud fucking cars. Do like people think that's cool?
I mean, obviously they did it.
I guess.
To me,
I want my car to be as silent as possible.
Oh no, I mean I like the sound of a car, but it depends, you know.
On the sound specifically, or?
Yeah, like I don't like the sound of like a Dodge Charger, you know.
Yes, I did get things done. I think I read for 3 hours yesterday. But here's the thing. With this screen time challenge, I think the bigger question, and I was telling Hayden this, I think the bigger question is like, does it matter if I replace it with reading, or does it matter if I'm just like on my phone less? And like for me, I think the intent was to like be on my phone less, which I think I have been. I think I've been like actually doing things. Yeah, yesterday I read Vampire Academy. We had to run some errands. We were going to do the podcast. We didn't end up doing the podcast, but we did get stuff set up for it. We're going to film on Monday.
We just had like a lot of things
We had so many things to do. And because we did that transfer on Monday, we've been having to do butt shots at 8, which is like not a bad time. Like we're always home at 8, but it just kind of like is smack dab in the middle of the night for us. So it's like we either have to try to get shit done all before 8, but we also have dinner, or do stuff after 8. And
we had to watch Dune. So
and, we just decided to watch Dune instead. I also was like feeling kind of crampy and I didn't really want to be sitting. Also, this time for shots, I get what people are saying about Pio. My ass really, really, really hurts. I think we've been like injecting lower than we did last time, at least for some of them. And I think that has been like not great for my butt. So I'm not feeling super amazing. I honestly don't even want to be sitting right now, but I am. Hopefully the theater seats are comfortable.
It's AMC, so I think that they have the
reclining
seats. Yeah, sure. Is that true about AMC?
I think that when my sister and I went to see a movie at this specific AMC that we're going to, that there were recliner seats. But I guess it depends.
And it's IMAX theater too. So
well, they may or may not have them if it's an IMAX theater. So I guess we'll
see.
We'll find out. Pray for my ass, I guess.
I hope it's comfy because it's like a 3-hour movie.
I know I like jokingly say pray for things a lot, but I'm just like actually imagining someone praying for my ass. Lord, if you could please send good vibes to Chandler's butt, that would be amazing.
I pray for your ass.
Do you?
Yeah, but like for the Lord to deliver that ass unto me.
On that note, we're gonna go watch Dune. Our movie is at noon. It's a 3-hour movie. So after that, I actually do want to get some reading done. For what I don't know, I like haven't really decided on what I want to do for Thursday's video. So that should be interesting, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do something. I like I told y'all, like I'm trying to do things in my power to like not be online, to not Google, to not take pregnancy tests.
Well, the nice thing is we're going to be gone for like most of the day already just to see this movie.
Just to see this movie.
Like we left the house at 10:20 and we're probably not going to get back until like 5. So
we also might see my sister. She lives pretty close to the movie theater. Her boyfriend isn't home and hasn't been home for the past few days, and so she's been very like FaceTiming me every hour of every day, which is sweet, and I love her, but also, you know, it's a lot, and so maybe she would like seeing us. She said multiple times she wants to see us, so.
Well, tell her to come over.
Yeah, but we've been busy, is the thing. Like, we've been busy pretty much every day, and I don't want her to, like...
Are you busy this evening?
No, but she's also picking her boyfriend up from the airport this night, so... Very productive, very hopeful conversations. He likes my sister, so, you know, just for the record, he's not a total hater.
Says you. Just Kiki.
Y'all kiki a lot. Y'all talk so much, which is great because I don't really like talking that much. Like Spencer will come over, and half the time I'm like, I'm just gonna be on my phone, and then y'all have your little conversations about food and God knows what else.
Yeah, like other things that like people like, you know.
Yeah, human interaction. Cannot relate.
Yeah, I was editing the Shatter Me video. And I don't know if you've, like, watched that back yet, but...
I did. It's live now.
Oh, it's live now? Yeah. And you were like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want human interaction for the rest of my life, but...
I think I would be okay with it. Well, specifically touch. Like, she can still talk to people, and she can wear gloves and give someone a hug. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
Yeah. You didn't say, like, I think I'd be alright. You were just like, I don't sympathize with her. Like, this is not a cause for sympathy for me.
Tell me Juliet's not annoying. Someone please.
She is annoying.
I know. So I'm valid.
She's the most annoying.
I'm very valid. The thing about these seats is they like kind of hug you a little bit. And sometimes that's nice. And sometimes I don't want my butt to be hugged when I'm in pain. Because it's like the outer, so like almost your saddlebags, but like a little lower. You know, it's like the outer ass. And unfortunately, I've been gifted with a juicy booty that is a little on the large side. And so she takes up a lot of this seat.
Been blessed.
Bless up.
I'm
not okay.